Hello and welcome to everyone watching the Written in Melanin channel. Wherever this day may have found you, I am glad that you're here. My name is Chelsea, also known as CM Lockhart, and I'm here to bring some melanin to your pages. Today I'm going to be doing the My Writing Process AuthorTube tag, and this is the original tag posted by the Bookish Pen Babe, so I will link her video down in the description box below, and I thought it would be fun, so I decided to do it myself. If you haven't already, be sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on the channel. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into this. Question 1. What genres do you write? I write romance. I want to write in other genres coming up, but everything that I write I know is going to have a pretty strong element of romance, so let's just say that I'm a romance author. Question 2. What setting gets you the most productive? Personally, I like to be in a quiet place with my laptop. If I'm working at my desktop computer, I often get distracted with other things, so when I'm ready to write, I just sit on my couch in my office and I get out my laptop and I just focus on the one thing. Question 3. If you have multiple story ideas, how do you go about picking which one to start on first? So I pick the story idea that feels the most fleshed out and real to me. It feels more natural to write that way because I personally just really hate forcing stories. Question 4. Do you outline? So for me, this is somewhat of a tricky question because I do outline, but not a whole lot. So like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm maybe at like a 3. I generally flesh out the main things that have to happen in the story in the order that they need to happen in, and then I just go from there and let the characters drive the story for the most part. Question 5. Do you start your first draft with pen and paper, typewriter, or computer? For me, I start with pen and paper. I've tried starting on a computer and it just doesn't flow the same way, so I always start with pen and paper, and then as the literal plot thickens, then I move to a computer. Question 6. What do you do to get through writer's block? For me, I try to write a random scene that I know won't appear in the book. Generally, when I hit a writer's block, it's because I don't know the characters well enough to make a decision of what they are going to do next. So I focus on getting to know them a little bit better so I can get inside their head so that I can figure out what went wrong in the original writing. And if that doesn't work, I either take a break or I talk to somebody else about it because having a community of writers really will change your life. Question 7. Do you format your projects from the beginning or worry about that later? I always worry about it later. I format my chapters with headings and I write in paragraphs with indents and such to make it easier for myself in the future, but that's it. There is no point to true book formatting before it's like done. Question 8. Do you edit as you go or when you're finished with the first draft? I do major storyline editing as I go because that is usually how I get past a writer's block and finish the draft, but if I can save it for later, I always save it for later. Question 9. After finishing your drafts, how long do you give it a break before you start going back over it, or do you give it a break at all? I give it no less than a week, and I give it no more than 6 weeks. I like to bask in the glory of completion for a while and catch my breath, but I don't want to lose my momentum for what I'm working on. Question 10. Is there something that you prefer to do to get through writing? I like to drink water because if I'm drinking coffee or snacking, then I'm not actually writing, I'm just pretending to write, if that makes sense. Coffee gets cold, and when I'm snacking, I can leave crumbs and I can't work in a messy area, and that distracts me. I have water so that I can stay hydrated, and I close out of everything. And like I said before, I'm not even at my desktop. So if you see me on social media or doing other things like that, it's 100% guaranteed that I'm not actually writing. Question 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions? The answer to that is yes and no. The Melanin Network does writing sprints on Mondays and Wednesdays, but if I have the urge to write, I don't shut it down. I have a planner to help keep me on track, and honestly, that's changed my life for the better. Question 12. Do you have a word count or chapter goals for your writing sessions? I used to have a word count goal of no less than 200 words, But recently I've gotten out of that and I just focus on writing the scene that I want to write. That helps my mind shift from trying to just get the word count and focus more on quality instead of quantity. Question 13. Are there any quirky things you do to make your projects more fun? So for me, I like to create character boards and character sheets with things that make up my character but aren't necessarily important to the plot of the story. So I have things like what type of pizza they like to eat, what do they think about the president and the political world, what their childhood was like, embarrassing moments that, just make them cringe on the inside. And I create a playlist of music that not only reminds me of them, but that they would listen to, just so that I can get into their head. But I'm pretty sure every author makes some type of playlist or does something to get into their character's head, so I don't know if that would necessarily be called quirky or not. Question 14. Do you work on multiple projects at one time? Absolutely not. My brain cannot handle it. Question 15. How often do you research what you're writing? So my answer to that would be occasionally. I don't like to be influenced too much when I'm writing, so I don't read heavily in whatever genre I'm writing, and I usually read something else. So since I'm writing a pure romance book right now, I am heavy into young adult fantasy books right now. Question 16. How do you organize your projects? So I'm a bit of a neat freak when it comes to the folders on my computer. So I use OneDrive instead of Google Drive because I use the Microsoft Office suite. And so I have one folder labeled stories, and then each project gets its own folder under that. And I use nested folders for things that I know are going to be a series. And I do the same thing for OneNote. I create a notebook called Stories, and then I have tabs for each story, and series have nested tabs. Question 17. Do you reward or punish yourself for achieving or missing out on your writing goals? I reward myself for completing what I'm supposed to do, but I don't punish myself because it's a goal and not a personal threat. Question 18. Are there any works similar to your projects that you look for and use for inspiration or comparison? The short answer is no. The reasoning behind that is because I am my own person, I am my own entity, and I try not to compare myself to other writers because we're all different. And generally in those situations, I'm the one who's going to come away from that feeling less than, and for not any good reason, because I'm dope and I know that. So it's art. All art is different, and I don't ever want to feel like my writing has morphed into an imitation of someone else. So I try to distance myself from that comparative aspect. You write, I write, we all write, and that's all right. Get it? Okay, moving on. Question 19. How early do you wait to start looking for and hiring editors? I am the editor. I'm the publisher too. So I poured hours, days, weeks of my time into learning how to create and present my work on a professional scale. So I write, I edit, I format, I do all of it. Because at the end of the day, I know that no one is going to work harder for my success than I am. Plus, I want to make a way for other Black authors to make their work available on a professional scale if they don't want to or can't pour the amount of time it takes into successfully self-publishing. But if I were to hire someone else, it would be after I have a completed product that I've already edited myself first. And last question, question 20. If you finished a first draft or a manuscript, tell us how you felt afterwards. So for me, after I completed my first book, I just felt like I wasn't a waste of space. Writing is often a difficult and ungratifying thing if you don't have something to show for it. And I felt so validated being able to tell my family and friends and everyone who knew what I was working on that I did the thing that I said I was going to do. I'm actually a writer now. For me, it's I did it. And I was excited because I felt legit. Now that I've, had a while to sit on the completion of it and my book's been out for almost a year now, I feel a little bit nervous because now it's I'm in competition with myself. It's very easy to chase something that you've never accomplished before, and it's nerve-wracking to chase a goal that you have accomplished before, because now you know that you can do it, and not only do you have to do it again, you have to do it better than you did it the first time. Now I'm just like, okay, I got this. Let me sit down and do the thing. All right, so now the fun part. I get to tag some people. First person I'm tagging is LaKase. Her channel is from LaKase Marie. You guys know her as the other half of the Melanin chat, and she's an amazing writer, so I would love to see her go through this. I'm also tagging Shay, her channel Kashay Warren, because she is a lovely addition to the Melanin network, and she is a super hardworking writer, and so I would love to get behind the scenes of her writing process. And I'm also tagging Neeks because she is also a part of the Melanin network, and she just started her writing process, so I would like to know what hers is like and how it's changing and morphing as she's going along. They're all wonderful people, so check out their channels, follow them, they're amazing. All right, that is it for this video, you guys. I will leave links to where you can purchase my book, Keeping Promises, and follow me, CM Lockhart, and my company, Written in Melanin Publishing, on social media. If you enjoyed this video, please tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. There are new videos on the channel every week. If you love books by Black authors, consider supporting us through Patreon. Every penny goes to supporting Black authors and bringing more of their books to the masses. There's a link in the description box below if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I hope your days are lovely and your books are interesting. Bye!